Welcome to the mid-season episode of CAA Court Report. I'm Bobby Broyles, joined always by my co-host, Mike Litos of CAAHoops.com. And before we get to Mike's race for CAA Player and Rookie of the Year, let's take a look at the CAA standings. It remains very tight at the top as we are now officially at the halfway point of this year's conference season. We have had overtime thrillers, new faces, and teams at the top of the CAA standings, but the real theme so far of this CAA season, Mike, has been the defense, the juggernauts, and all the rock fighting.
Yeah, without question, Georgia State kind of kicked off this defensive intensity at the beginning of the year with a great run through non-conference season. Now that we've gotten to the point where the CAA teams are playing each other and know each other, you're seeing the Jersey thread-counting defense of Drexel, the havoc of VCU. Georgia State continuing to play that great matchup zone that they do. A lot of scores in the 40s and 50s. Defenses have certainly dominated in the half season so far.
And another storyline we have seen this year are new teams now at the top of the CAA standings. We have the Georgia State Panthers, who have had a great run, the Northeastern Huskies, and of course the preseason favorite, the Drexel Dragons.
Yeah, without question, Drexel has really stepped on the gas pedal as of late. Little sketchy start, a tough trip down to the islands during non-conference season, but they're really playing well right now. The inside-outside combination of Sammy Gibbons and France Massenat really playing outstanding. Georgia State not going to go away. Had that 5-1 start, dropped a couple tough games on the road. The double overtime game against Delaware comes immediately to mind. But they're going to be around the rest of the year because they play hard, for sure. So it's certainly seeing these new teams that you always hear a little bit about, hearing a lot about them now.
Now, some of these new teams have been led by incredible freshmen. That brings us to our mid-season Rookie of the Year race, and we'll begin with the freshman from Drexel, Damian Lee.
Yeah, just a great shooter, lights-out shooter. Teams are starting to close out on that ability right now, but he's very comfortable driving the basketball. Playing defense, adjusting, you got to play defense if you're going to play at all for Bruiser Flint. Damian Lee getting 25, 30 minutes a game, and he just has not hit that freshman wall yet. Just an amazing performance so far for Lee.
And another freshman that has made a big impact in the first half of the conference season is Northeastern's Quincy Ford.
Yeah, Quincy Ford, we talked last week about it, one of 11 children, homeschooled out of Florida. Really came on. Took him a bit to get adjusted to Bill Cohen's style, but putting together double-figure games, steals, rebounds. He's about 6'8", 6'9", out on the wing, but can really cover the big men on the block. Just a multi-dimensional player. Now, the Huskies, one of those surprise teams on the top half of the CAA standings. What other freshmen should we watch the rest of the season? Well, two of them we saw in the same game. Marcus Thornton from William & Mary and Adam Smith from UNCW. Of course, Smith, the dynamic scorer, dynamic shooter from the outside. He's doing what Damian Lee has started to do, which is when teams are closing out on the three-point shot, he's putting the ball on the deck, driving to the hole. And Marcus Thornton, his performance against VCU was outstanding. Just an incredible, dynamic player, jets to the rim, no fear at all. He'll go in and try to dunk on the big men, but he can also shoot the ball. Tony Shaver very happy that he's playing better defense.
Now, Mike, as we move on to the CAA Player of the Year race, that one is just as competitive as the Rookie of the Year race. Let's first begin with George Mason's Ryan Pearson.
Yeah, without question, Ryan Pearson has just taken the mantle that Paul Hewitt had wanted him to do, and that's be a leader. He's a double-double machine if that's what they need that night, or he'll defer to his teammates. Mike Morrison is having a very good season, and I'll put a lot of that on Ryan Pearson. And the other player that I want to talk about is Keith Rendelman from UNCW. Just an unbelievably efficient player. He's just fun to watch play the game. Plays within himself, takes what is given to him, knows angles. He's really bulked up a lot this year. He's throwing up double-doubles left and right and just playing outstanding this season.
And the Seahawks, one of those other teams that are right on the cusp of being in the top half of the CAA standings. And, Mike, what other players can we watch out for besides Rendelman and Pearson?
Yeah, I think Kent Bazemore has really gotten that explosion back. He's trying to put Old Dominion on his back, so he's putting up a lot of those crooked numbers we were talking about. But I think you need to look at some outliers like France Massenat from Drexel. He's really starting to fill the stat sheet. Bruiser Flint has him rebounding the basketball as well as his defense. He's never going to put up the 25-point nights, but 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, leading the team that's leading the conference is it's an awfully good story that Massenat could be writing right now.
Now we have our CAA Player and Rookie races to watch out for the rest of the year. What can CAA Hoops fans expect the rest of this second half of the season?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Bobby. I have no idea. No, it's really what we saw in the first half of the season. What you could expect is the unexpected. We saw William and Mary, a team down towards the bottom of the standings, take VCU down to the wire in that game. I think you're going to see Hofstra. They're going to win some games. And then, of course, when you get up in the top, we talk about the 6 teams that are battling for the 4 spots for the Friday bye. Anything can happen when these teams get together. VCU and Mason have 2 games left. VCU and ODU play once, as well as ODU and Mason. Drexel's right in there. I just think you're going to see, especially with what we're talking, the defense is dominating. You're just going to see games where you don't know the answer until the last 2 minutes.
Well, it should be a very intriguing second half part of the conference season. Remember, you can get access to all live stats, schedules, and video and audio streaming on CAAsports.com and clicking on the game day page. Also, check out Mike's blog at CAAhoops.com. For Mike Litos, I'm Bobby Broyles for CAA Court Report. Join us next week as we get you ready for more exciting CAA basketball.